This episode, we talk about negotiating, savings unplugged, and grocery shopping tips.
This is the Living Young and Free Show, giving the 25 and under crowd tips, tricks, and hacks to get the most out of your money.
Hi, I'm Cheryl.
And welcome to episode 47. First up, for her inaugural segment on the show, Jenn covers some negotiating tips. Bum bum bum.
Thanks, Cheryl. Okay, so today we're going to talk about negotiating.
Excuse me, sir. We're going to have to ask you to let all those people out of the building.
Maybe not hostage negotiating, but negotiating that you can do in your everyday life. Your salary, your mortgage, getting 10 to 20% off because something you want at Target is broken or has a stain on it. I'm going to be pulling some tips from a website called paulstips.com, and the article is titled My 8 Best Negotiation Tips. Number 1, you have to be willing to negotiate. Let's negotiate. Just because you're willing doesn't mean it can always be done, but the first step is start asking the question. Number 2, don't get emotionally involved.
I just need this job. You don't know what it's like.
What I've seen as emotional involvement is desperation.
Gosh, why?
And I recommend wherever possible, plan ahead so that desperation doesn't factor in. Number 3, Paul says never to be the first person to name a figure. I'm gonna write down a number.
11 trillion is not a number.
This part of negotiation can be sort of like a strategy game. Here's a final interesting point just from my own personal research. I will negotiate differently because I'm a girl. I don't know, bro. I think I need a lot more money. You don't know how dope I is. I'm the dopest. Gonna get this party right? Yeah! Okay, not that every guy negotiating is some bro out to get the party started. The point really is you have to be honest with yourself in negotiations. If straight up asking for more money or for a big discount feels like you would be punching somebody in the face, find another way to approach it. The more we practice this, the less money we're gonna lose cumulatively over our lifespans. But that's all I've got to say about that. Thank you guys for watching. Back to you, Cheryl.
Personally, I asked for $100 trillion, but I was turned down. Next up, we have Alex, who's going to talk about how you can save money by going acoustic or unplugged.
Thanks, Cheryl. Alex Oliver here with Young and Free Tennessee. Well, today I'm going to show you how to save a ton of money on your utility bill by just simply unplugging appliances. That's right, all the utility bills that you're considering a fixed cost can actually be cut down by simply unplugging unused appliances. The average household will spend about $1,900 in utility costs every year, according to the Department of Energy. And of that $1,900, about 5 to 10% is actually going to be used on appliances that are plugged in 24/7. Now, given there are some appliances that may only draw about a watt or two, even if left plugged in, such as like a night light, but if you look at bigger appliances like a TV or a big computer, those are going to draw a lot more on your energy and can cost you a lot more money, especially when you add those into all the other electronics that are always plugged in around your house. So here's a list of some appliances that you should be unplugging every time you leave the house, according to walletpop.com. Cordless phones, televisions, DVD players, and VCRs. Seriously, who has a VCR? Coffee makers, lamps, toasters. Now, while it is smart to try and unplug every appliance every time you leave the house, let's be real, that takes a lot of time. So here are some alternatives to unplugging every single appliance every time you leave the house. First up, invest in a good power strip. Next up, if you're searching for new appliances, see if they have an energy-saving option. These types of devices are great because they actually have an unplug feature where when they're not actively being used, they're not actively taking away from your utility bill. You've probably heard this one before, but take shorter showers. And if you install a low-flow shower head, you can actually save a ton of money by using less water energy on that utility bill. And what's even better is that you're not just going to be saving money, but you'll be helping the environment too. As always, Alex Oliver signing out with Young and Free Tennessee. Back to you, Cheryl.
Thanks, Alex. Those are some great tips. Just make sure that when you're unplugging things that someone isn't currently using it. Last up, for her first segment on the show, Kaylie covers some grocery shopping tips.
Thanks, Cheryl.
So for my first segment on the show, I've got some saving tips on something that we all have to do, and that's grocery shopping. Now we all know the basics. Don't shop when you're hungry, use coupons, and don't buy brand names. But I came across a really great article at GetRichSlowly.org that highlight a whole list of saving tips that you might not even have heard of yet. Here are a few from that list.
What's up guys, it's Kaylie here with Young and Free Ontario. I'm here at my local supermarket and I'm going to give you guys some tips to follow for when you're grocery shopping. Now the first tip might seem like an obvious one, but it's very important to make a list and try to stick to it. Make the list when you're at home before you go shopping, that way you know what you need, you know what you don't need. So when you're at the grocery store, you're not tempted and you're only buying things that you know you need. Fruit by the foot. I haven't had these since I was a kid. I think I should get them. No! They're not on my list, so I'm not getting them. If you're just running in for a few things, stay away from picking up a basket or a cart because you'll be surprised at how much it'll fill up with things that you don't need. Believe it or not, I just came in for milk and bread, and now that I have a cart, I'm filled up with things that I don't need.
The next shopping tip is to keep a grocery price book, which is actually something I hadn't heard about before reading this article. Now what it is a list of things that you frequently buy, like milk or eggs or bread, and keeping a list of how much you're paying and where you're buying them, so that way you can look back and see where you're getting the best deals so you know where to shop. Now you can keep the list a simple way with a binder or folder and keeping loose leaf papers and just writing everything down, or you can actually go online and download a template and fill everything out on an Excel sheet. You can go online to anuncommonwaytowealth.com and find one, or you can also get one at cheapcooking.com. These are all really good resources to keep track of what you're buying so you know whether you're getting deals or whether you're getting ripped off.
Try to stay away from the aisles within the perimeter of the store because they're mostly just filled with processed foods that are just there to tempt you. Pop, chocolate bars, you don't need these things. Instead, try to stick to shopping the perimeter of your grocery store where you'll find your healthy necessities like fruits and vegetables and all your different kinds of meats as well as grain products. So there you have it. I hope these tips can help you in the future when you're grocery shopping. Back to you, Cheryl.
Fruit by the foot. Must add to grocery list. If I add it to my grocery list, it's not going to be an impulse buy. And that's our show. If you have any feedback or ideas for upcoming episodes, feel free to comment below or email me at livingyoungandfree@gmail.com. And be sure to join us next time for more great tips, tricks, and hacks on how to make the most of your money.
Young and Free is a credit union movement that gives young people a voice, a head start, and useful information.